Truthfully, this is not a bad trailer. This might actually break the curse of anime into live action. Now, I don't think that this trailer is perfect, but I do think that in terms of energy and the actual life of what One Piece represents, this trailer really does capture it. And even though there's obviously going to be some differences and not everything's probably going to be the exact same, I do think that there is definitely a lot of care and attention to detail that is put into this project, which once again, I'm not someone that's going to defend Netflix or live actions. Everybody knows how harsh I can be on this type of subject, but I will be fair when I need to be, and especially when I see something that legitimately does look good. And in this case, one thing I do want to really point out is just like the props. I think that was a big thing when I was like watching this, is that the overall sets, like the background setting and all that, to just the props that are used throughout this trailer, legitimately look very accurate. At the very least, they try to be very accurate to the manga and anime, and I really do think that is very impressive. I think that in terms of set design and what is going on here with the different things to just really make this feel like the world of One Piece, they're definitely doing a good job with it. I mean, like, look at this. Like, seriously. This may not be exactly, identical to everything we imagine, but it really does show there is a lot of care and attention to detail here to really bring the world of One Piece to a live-action setting. This does look good. It does. And I think anyone that says it isn't, obviously is just wanting to be on that bandwagon of like, oh, this is, a live-action, so it's automatically bad. And once again, I'm not saying that this is going to be a good, live-action. There is definitely a possibility it can flounder and just be absolute crap. But at this point, looking at this trailer, my very low expectations at pretty much rock bottom did raise slightly after watching this. And, like, I want to show an image here, because this is really what got me. I love the way Mihawk looks. And when I saw this design of him that was in this trailer, I was just like, this looks very accurate. Like, if I was to imagine Mihawk in a live action, this is exactly what came to my mind. I was like, wow, they really got him completely accurate. I know his design isn't the most intricate and hard to do, but even then, when I saw this, I was like, wow, they really are trying to make, the characters, the cast and stuff really look exactly like how One Piece really is. I love the tangerines in the background and all that, the way the setting is. You really do get that feel that they're really trying to bring the different set pieces of One Piece to life. And I like that. And I really do think that, if there is one thing I really do want to mention, is that this is going to be probably the last time One Piece ever has a chance to break into the mainstream. And hear me out, okay? Yes, I know One Piece is very popular. It's basically the #1 manga. Yeah, we know this. We know this. Let's not even try to argue that. Let's not get into that. It is very popular for a reason. However, in terms of, like, popularity, it isn't as popular in the West as it is in Japan. It's popular in the West, but nowhere near like how it really could be. And I think there's a lot of reasons for this over the years. I mean, you got to think about this. When One Piece first came to, the West and all that, it had a really bad dub, like the 4Kids dub, with a lot of censorship, and it obviously really hurt, One Piece's overall reputation at the start, and not a lot of people really gave, One Piece a chance until very, very later on. And at that point, when they finally decided to give it a chance, they're like, oh, the series is too long, etc. And so this might be, like I said, the last time that One Piece really has a chance to really break into the mainstream audience for the West and become very popular, like a worldwide sensation. It's popular, but it definitely has a lot of areas it can grow if this live action does well. So I do hope, truthfully, from the bottom of my heart, I really do hope this live action does very well, because I think that would make Oda-sensei, the author of One Piece, incredibly happy if he's able to spread his story even more to people that have never gotten to experience the world of One Piece. So I do hope that this is very successful. Now, I do want to talk about this in terms of prop design. Once again, I want to, say that even though nothing is perfect, I do like how they really are trying to, like, showcase the prop designs and try to get everything that's really iconic to One Piece accurate, and at least the attention to detail. I like that. I also like the feel here of Buggy's, like, little circus going on. I think that this really feels and fits in line. And by the way, I want to talk about that. When we first encountered Buggy, he was very creepy looking. And I did go on record to say that, yeah, I think that's very fitting because Buggy is supposed to be terrifying because of his introduction. But later on, obviously, we know he becomes more of a comedy relief, and makes sense. But the point is that Buggy is technically like the first real major villain within the story of One Piece. And I think that the way he's introduced with the comedy-wise, but also the creepy nature, is done pretty well. Now, I don't think that this is the best showcasing, of CGI, etc., when he's using his chop fruit, but I do think that it really does fit in line. It's creepy looking, and it's hilarious, too, how he throws his very bodies like weapons at people. It's pretty cool. Now, another thing, too, I do want to talk about just how, there is obviously iconic scenes here we can see that, they're trying to hint at that's going to be within this show, like the Nami stuff. And once again, I don't know how well this is going to hit in a live action setting, but it does seem like, once again, they are kind of showcasing that, yes, we know how important these scenes are to the story, and we want to do these scenes right. Like this whole show off with Luffy and Arlong and all that. I really do like that. Now, let's talk about Arlong's design. This one is obviously going to be one of the hardest things to do, and we obviously now have a good look at what the fishmen are going to look like within, One Piece. And obviously, they can't do the exact, one-to-one design of how Arlong was within, the manga and anime. It's not possible. They would have to do CGI, but it's clear that they're using a bit of CGI, but it's like they're trying to keep it more practical, and I do like this design, honestly. I actually kind of like Arlong's, more realistic looking design here, and I don't know, I think it's pretty cool. Some might disagree with me. I know some might say maybe his nose should be longer or whatever, it should look different, but I actually just do like how Arlong looks in a live action setting. I think they did a good job with that. Now, the only complaint I have in terms of designs, but once again, it's not really practical, and I understand why, is like Usopp. Usopp doesn't have his signature long nose. I mean, he's always called Long Nose, in the gags of One Piece, his nose is grabbed and he's dragged around or whatever. There's constant little jokes and stuff with Usopp, and obviously we don't have the long nose Usopp that we're used to, and even though I know this is going to definitely be a subject of complaint, I don't think it's necessarily that bad. And hear me out, okay? Even though, yes, it's iconic to One Piece, it would look so weird in a live-action setting, and I do think that this is sometimes where you gotta take liberties, and you do have to change things to make it fit more in line with live action, and I think this is one of those things that's like, yeah, it sucks, but at the end of the day, it would just look really weird if they did so. So, I think it's practical that they actually got rid of the long nose in the grand scheme of things. It would just look too funny. Then, we have, obviously, little brief scenes like this, oh my goodness. We saw this already kinda in the previous trailer, but seeing this Shanks and Sea King moment really just blows me away, because it's very identical to the manga, and obviously this is one of the biggest moments of the series, at least early One Piece, and seeing, how this is actually live action is just, it's pretty impressive. I really do like the CGI of this moment. It's very impressive. It looks good. I do hope that the cinematography and all that and the choreography is really good within this. I mean, so far from the brief little showcasings, it seems like it's good. It does. I think that, at this point, even the rubber effects of Luffy doesn't really look that bad. I actually think that the Gatling, the Gatling gun he uses at the end here when he's, attacking Arlong. Now, let me see if I can find the scene. He does a brief scene where he's fighting Arlong. I think this is it right here. He attacks Arlong with the Gatling gun, and, it legitimately looks really, really good. Yeah, here it is. He's using the Gatling gun, and it doesn't look that bad. It legit looks pretty good. Once again, there's always going to be that area that it looks a little bit off, because obviously, it's not normal for real life to see stuff like that. But I really do think that, this trailer is legitimately enjoyable. I don't think it's the best thing I've ever seen, but I do think that there is definitely, something here that makes me a little bit more hopeful for the future of the One Piece live action. I'm definitely looking forward to it, honestly. We got about a month away, as we can see here, until it actually, airs. I'm definitely going to be watching this. So, I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you so much for watching. May all of you have a fantastic day or night wherever you live. Be safe, stay healthy. Chibi out.